Hello, 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 hello. Let's just sound a little bit. Welcome to another episode of Fictional Character Motivation. I'm your host, Quan, and today we'll be talking about one of the most interesting sci-fi movies that came out during one of my times, called In Time on Living Every Second. Sorry if I'm a little bit turned to the side. I gotta fix my camera. So excuse me. There we go. See, that's a little bit better. Alright. Hope everyone's having a good day. And here we go. The movie In Time came out in 2011. The synopsis of this movie: in a future where time is money and everyone stops aging at the age of 25, but they're engineered to live one more year, and the wealthy can live forever. Will Salas is a poor man who rarely has more than a day's worth of life on his time clock. When he saves Henry Hamilton from the time thieves, Will receives the gift of a century. However, large transactions attracts the attention of the authorities, and when Will is falsely accused of murder, he goes on the run with Sylvia West, one of the daughters of the wealthy. I thought this movie was very good and underrated, and to me it shows how the rich and poor sectors can be very relatable in real life. For instance, during the movie, like I mentioned before, during the synopsis, everyone has now been tampered with a genetic code that pretty much at the age of 25, they automatically get a year's worth on their arm, and it shows and pretty much is that is now their currency. Like you've seen the whole movie is just like a cup of coffee is 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Getting this is maybe an hour or so. And I find that pretty much transition being quite relatable since, with us in life, everything's kind of mostly on a time related schedule. Like, how much time do I have? How long will this take? How long do I got before I reach here? And all that. But if you haven't checked out this movie, I suggest you check it out. Like I like pretty much how they took it. I mean, like I said, I thought it was very good and underrated because I like the idea, I like the concept, and I like how they handled it. But let's see, it shows time management and how the rich act and how some of the poor act. For instance, if in this movie, and probably the same way how in real life, if you're rich, you almost feel like you have infinite time. Almost. You walk around with no worries. You take leisurely walks everywhere. You enjoy where you're at most of the time. You take your time and spend it. No problems. If you're on the other end of the spectrum, like how Will starts off, you can't waste even a second. You wake up early, you run wherever you go, you hustle whatever you can. You're always being mindful about the clock, about how much time do I have. Now, thankfully, this horrible genetic code hasn't happened, but to move and take corners from this movie and its people, it's pretty evident. It's pretty there. So, what can we learn from living life every second from this movie? I have a couple of ideas as usual. One of the first ideas is try not to sleep in life. If you see pretty much Will Salas and the poor, like I mentioned, they waste no time. Like they pretty much have to jog that pretty much either jog or run everywhere. They have to pretty much be light on their feet. They have to think. They have to be at work. Not only on time, but they probably want to be at work before time just so they can make that time. And they have to make sure that everything is set up, that they have enough time for this. And I would suggest, do not sleep in. Like, even if you see this movie, even when he has like a bunch of centuries, a century's worth of time on his hand, on his wrist, he still has that habit of, I need to jog because I need to hurry up and be somewhere. I want you to do that. I want you to think about that. Try not to sleep in. Think about pretty much as soon as you wake up, what are you going to work on? What do you want to do? What is the end result after today? Or what is the progressive steps you want to add at the end of this week, this month, this year? Think about that. Because once you connect to that, once you have a real grasp about how much time we really have, you want to be like Will Silas, and you wouldn't want to waste it. And the second thing actually is pretty much a tip from the rich, which is enjoy the time that you have. In some cases, some of the poor, some of the rich, they do tend to be time hogs, of course. But then again, time pretty much equals how long they get to live. So you have some people that have lived for hundreds of years, and because of the genetic code, they still look, 25, and that's the main goal. It's there, but don't forget to enjoy your time, because there's times where you do want to work. There's times where you do want to hustle. But there's also times where you should just relax. You should, as the proverb, as the great quote would say, you should sometimes sit down and smell the flowers. You should sometimes have a vacay. You should sometimes just go wandering around for a little bit. And I speak from pretty much experience, just because for me, I've been working ever since I was 18. And between then and probably between then and 4 years ago, there's only been 2 or 3 times that I've went on a vacation, and that vacation was literally a weekend. But for 4 years ago, with my girlfriend and their family, they pretty much showed me the joy of living a couple days and maybe even a week of vacation in a certain spot. And I'm here to let you know that is a eye-opening and relaxing experience. Just to be like, instead, okay, this is Sunday, so that means I got to get ready to go, or at least be there by later on today, versus I got a couple more days of this, a couple more days at the beach, a couple more days of the mountains, wherever you like to go to vacay. Enjoy that time. I am learning to enjoy that time. Granted, I'm still trying to hustle too. I'm still trying to get the money that I need. I'm still trying to make sure that everything can be knocked out in a timely fashion. But enjoy your time. And I think the other thing that I probably suggest, and this is actually from the concept of, I guess the main thing from that movie, is the fact that time should be shared with everybody, or with the people that help you, with the people that you love, the people that you care about, the people that make you better. And I take that from the preacher from that movie, because in that movie, with time being the new currency, everyone has to change their position a little bit. Well, in the middle of the movie, you find out there's this guy a preacher who works at the church, and how he helps people either early in the morning or late at night is he literally sticks his hand out, and basically how they transfer time pretty much to each other as credits is they go here, and they make sure that they have this kind of wrist kind of grip like this, and whoever's on top, that is who is taking time, and at the bottom, that's who's giving time. And pretty much like how that works is you see the preacher, he goes in, he turns his wrist over, he gives that certain amount of time, he stops, so that pretty much other people can at least have some time to sleep, some time to rest before they have to try to go at it again and try to get some time. And near the end of the movie, spoiler alert, the balance is shaken for a while, so that pretty much there's a time for everybody. Because the thing is that as usual, it's almost possibly, it talks about how natural immortality is, which in some cases in this movie is saying it's not really natural at all. Like, you shouldn't really live to be 200 or 300 years, even though science is actually going in that direction. When you really think about it, we are improving in health and whatnot. But main thing, going back to the preacher, is share your time with the people who care for you, who you care for, and who you can help. And with that, just keep those things in mind, to not waste a second, to not waste any time. Try not to sleep in. Always go to where you need to go. Know where you're going. Enjoy the time that you have, and share some of the time that you have. Don't have to be a workaholic all the time, but I do feel you on there. As usual, if this hits, if this kind of resonates with you, please go to my YouTube channel, look up this video. The video will be called In Time on Living Every Second, on my YouTube channel, Mind of Quan. You all know how to spell mind, M-I-N-D, of O-F, Quan, Q-A-N, and look for FCM In Time on Living Every Second. Or if you're listening to this from Spotify or podcast channel, you can look up Fictional Character Motivation and just hit a follow, or on the YouTube channel, hit a like. I also would love comments to see what resonated with you, what hit with you. I'm doing this so that, as I like to say it, I'm doing these episodes to get some insight, some wisdom, some advice from the movies that we all seen and love, or the ones that we have not seen or loved yet, and kind of pretty much take them in and kind of view the world from a different pair of eyes instead of the usual eyes that we have. So, hope this helps out. Please let me know if this resonated. I hope you have an awesome day. Deuces.